Welcome to Game 5 of the Medium Games Finals. We're all tied up between Kubu and Koehni868686. I believe it is said in German. Bit of a mouthful for me in English, but that's because I don't speak German. We've got Sentinel. Sentinel is a card. It really is.
All right.
And I guess you open with Sentinel. Sentinel Devil's Workshop seems like a pretty decent opening. Because Imp is going to be our draw, and we can take like an Ironworks and get Imp. We can also use, I guess, Vault for draw. Vault Golem is kind of a synergy, as much as I hate the word synergy.
So Sentinel, I don't know what to think about that card. I've played with it a bunch. Every time that I've found the Sentinel on turn 3 and my opponent hasn't, I've won. And every time my opponent has found it on turn 3 and I haven't, I've lost. So
yeah, I told Dan Pixie earlier today that Sentinel is a card that's going to end up in a lot of ban lists. I believe it's the card from this the Allies expansion that's going to be on the most ban lists because of that.
yeah, I mean, if you find it on turn, it just seems game winning if you find it on turn 3 and your opponent doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on other factors. This is a slow kingdom, it looks like. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly other factors, but man, it just gets you off to such a great start.
Yeah, especially if you see it turn, if you see 5 coin, obviously, like if you open Sentinel Silver and you see 5 turn 3, then you're actually pretty happy to see it turn 4, right? But if you see 3 coins and 2 estates turn, I drew it with 2 coppers, and I drew 2 coppers, 3 estates turn 3, and then turn 4 saw my Sentinel, and then was able to trash some estates, but like, my deck is bad. I have no cards other than Sentinel and Silver in it. I think Sentinel Devil's Workshop is the way to go, but I could also believe in Sentinel Ironworks in the open, and then you Ironworks for a Devil's Workshop later. No, because that's non-terminal. So I think Sentinel Devil's Workshop is the way to go. I'm actually okay to take 1 early gold, because Sentinel's going to trash you pretty efficiently. And I'm seriously considering Golem here.
Yeah, I mean, Golem, and I guess if you can get some imps off the Devil's Workshop, that's kind of your draw, right? Oh, well, Vault.
Yeah.
But Vault.
So Kubu with the, I guess, worst case draw with their open. Imagine if that Catapult was a Devil's Workshop, they would now have a gold in their deck.
Yeah.
Or if it was an Ironworks, they would have they could have top decked a Nomad camp, probably, for the next turn, and then bought a 5 next turn.
They did find the Sentinel on turn 3. I mean, that would have been much worse if their turn 3 and 4 hands would have been reversed.
Yeah, absolutely. And they trashed 2 estates. So, like, Kuehni does seem pretty far behind now, at no fault of their own. Ugh, and they even bottom decked the Sentinel.
Wow.
I don't know what you buy here as Kuehni. I think Kuehni actually needs to get a Catapult now, just to thin more.
I think so.
And get a couple attacks in. Kubu's going to get, what, 2 Catapult attacks in before their deck is out of treasures?
Yeah.
With the Sentinel. Maybe they get a couple curses off, but this is a really rough draw for Kuehni.
Yeah, real rough. Kubu finding the Sentinel again at the top of their next shuffle. Like I said, every time I've seen this, it's just game winning.
Yeah, this is why I kind of wanted the Devil's Workshop, I guess. I think you just take Catapult and Silver, maybe. Ironworks for a Catapult, buy a Silver. Maybe you just buy a Villa preemptively.
Yeah, Catapult Silver is not exciting, but it seems like the best option.
The potion feels a touch early.
Yeah, you could have some sad potion hands.
It's tough to hit 4 potion when you have 3 estates in your deck.
A set and a Devil's Workshop, yeah. It's not, and 2 Ironworks.
Yeah, I didn't really want more than 1 Ironworks. here we just gain a gold, I guess. Sad gold.
Yeah. At least it's easier on the next shuffle to potentially find a.
We're prefacing everything about this turn for them with sad, unfortunately. This is a sad catapult attack because they could have Ironworks for 2 villas and bought a golem, but
Oh, true.
now they just buy.
Yeah, you end up with 2 villas in your deck just so you can get the golem.
Yeah. And then we start to add vaults, and the villas get hit by golem, and they're still sad, but yeah, I think the second Ironworks should have been probably a silver, maybe a catapult. When did they gain the second Ironworks? Turn 4? Turn 4, they gained Potion Ironworks. I think, yeah, that was the turn I wanted silver catapult. And then this hand would have been quite a bit better. But I think Kubu can gain a potion now. They gain a Devil's Workshop.
Ironworks just doesn't seem exciting enough for me to want to have 2 of them on this kingdom.
Well,
Arska Boy made the similar comment. There's just not a lot of. I mean, yeah,
imps. I want imps. I want an Ironworks for Villa, buy a golem, and then gain an imp. That's what I want my turn. That's what I want my turn to do.
Sure.
But yeah, Koehni just drew it. I don't know that it matters what Koehni did here. I mean, Kubu's still got to build a deck and try to win the game. It's not just a free win. Once you've trashed all of your estates, I think is when it's potion time.
Yeah, that seems like a good.
But again, we're seeing here maybe that's even too early because
you just have all these other Ironworks, Sentinel.
Yeah, once you've trashed 2 of your estates and you've got a gold, I guess is my answer. Maybe potion time is when you're all the way thin, though. Like you've got no coppers left.
Yeah, no, I think for Kubu now. I mean, obviously they already have the potion, but getting 2 more coppers and getting a gold there certainly.
Yeah. So next turn they're going to hit Golem and they're going to add. Do you buy a copper here?
Get 2 imps instead of 1?
Yeah, I think I buy a copper to get 2 imps.
I think so. There's just none of the other 4s I'm really that excited about.
So the other thing is Golem works really well with Sentinel because Golem will discard all your treasures. And even if you trigger a bad, and then Sentinel can play to trash stuff. All right, 3 potions have been gained now.
Second potion? That's.
We're in exciting times.
What? Is there something besides Golem you can buy with potion here? Not seeing it. You don't want.
Yeah, I've seen
what 2 or 3 golems, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, and here we're gonna trash a Devil's Workshop. Okay, we're gonna monkey. That makes more sense. So again, as Kubu, I buy a copper here. I buy copper here and gain 2 imps.
That's for sure.
That's pretty clear to me. Like the value of an imp is greater than the cost of a copper. Plus,
and they're so thin.
Right. Plus, you've got Sentinel and Catapult. You need Catapult food. You're running out of treasures for Catapult to trash.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, the copper there is pretty clear.
As Koehni, it was less clear because their deck is thicker. They haven't trashed nearly as much due to them bottom decking their Sentinels.
Yeah. He needs to thin more.
Now, if you're playing Chapel, if your Chapel misses a shuffle, it's as bad as Sentinel missing the shuffle, I think, right?
I think so.
But if you see Chapel turn 3 or 4, it doesn't matter which turn you see it, which Sentinel does, potentially.
Sentinel makes a huge difference.
I don't know what you buy here. I don't want any of the cards.
I do buy the copper this time to get the double imp. Seems fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know that you want the other catapult, but
I think you have to trash some of those cards.
trash silver, trash catapult even.
Maybe you can play the vault and then just buy. You can play the vault and buy buy a villa to continue. I think trashing silver makes some sense to me.
Yeah, although I guess you could make an argument that if you're going to keep the catapult in your next hand, you keep the silver too, so you can catapult the silver.
Yeah, and we can play vault and then play the discard something, play the gold, get a villa, something like that. Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Kuehni, meanwhile, has found no treasures with their catapults somehow. It's unclear to me how that's possible, even, but
Yeah, really. I mean, they've got a lot of copper in their deck still, don't they? It's like they're rethinking the silver trash.
you can consider. What can you consider doing? You can Nomad camp here, buy villa, Ironworks gain estate, play vault, and play on. And I think you can hit, and I think you then draw gold, and then you can buy Golem. I don't know that that's any better. I would have believed you if you told me that zero cards were gained from the catapult pile in this game. Like you just said, oh yeah, no, we're not buying catapults this game. Like, oh yeah, Sentinel's going to thin you too quickly. You're not going to need catapults, right? I don't think I would have believed you if I told you that 5 catapult. Like, I would have believed you if the number was 10, 9, 8. I could have even believed 7. I don't know that I don't know that if you told me we would reveal rocks here, I would have believed it.
No, I would not have believed it.
And I've not been paying enough attention, I guess, as a commentator. Aqueduct? When did Kuehni buy an estate?
Oh, yeah, I completely missed that as well.
It's just like it didn't register with my brain. Turn 7, they played a catapult and trashed a copper. Bought an estate.
3 VP, yeah, that doesn't seem worth it.
That doesn't, especially when your deck's not thin yet.
Yeah, if anybody was to do that, I would say maybe that would make a little bit of sense for Kubu, but even then, it just seems like it's
but
down too much.
This turn for Kubu is doing quite well. I think
these imps are just great cards for both decks.
We're not finding. They have 2 potions. We didn't find either of them. So I've seen 2 potions in like an alchemist stack before. Like, just you really don't want to risk missing a potion, and having the second potion can help you. It can also help you, get alchemists faster and get your alchemist stack up and running quickly. I've seen 2 potions or more in a vineyard game, right? In late game, you're gaining extra potions. Because sometimes in a vineyard game, you don't gain potions till late, so the pile's big, and then you're ironworksing for potions to buy them in late game. I don't know that I've ever seen 2 potions bought in a Golem game before.
No, I can't say that I have. Yeah, with Alchemist, potions serve 2 purposes, right? It helps you buy more Alchemists, but it also helps you top decking the Alchemists that you do have. But yeah, here, like I said, with these golems, you typically want 2 or 3 of them. You don't want to just keep buying golems every opportunity you have. They start losing their utility once you have too many.
And something like Royal Carriage here seems pretty strong to be able to double play an imp or a golem depending on what you need. Which they do pick up here, and I am okay with that estate because it actually gets them imps, which is quite nice. Sure. And this looks like it's going to be a pretty nice turn for Koehni if their imps draw them actions that they can play. They have multiple catapults. They have Ironworks. They've got villas. Yeah, you can build a deck here with. I mean, Villa Vault is not great draw. This was kind of a remarkable. What you think? Does Koehni have good other cards in the deck? I'm pretty sure they have 2 Ironworks in those bottom 4 cards.
Right.
And a Sentinel. What did they discard? They discarded an Ironworks and Devil's Workshop. There's an Ironworks and a Sentinel, and I think a Catapult down there. There was not. Oh, so.
Yeah, I guess they played them. They were in the discard. I haven't been tracking either deck that closely.
So, but they have a complete dud here. Let's see what Kubu can do. I assume you Ironworks for a Villa here? We're getting to the point for Kubu where you don't want to take any more imps. I'm not sure where that point is, but it's getting fairly close.
Close, but I think they could take 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. And I think you can take 1 more Golem as well.
I think 1 more, yeah. 1 more, and then I think you're done there, and then you're looking at starting to green, I think, after maybe 1 more.
Yeah, I want to get another Vault and another Royal Carriage. Actually, they have a Royal Carriage down in the mat, so they can play this Golem again, and then hit the Imp. Hit the Imp first, certainly. Really? No, it must be Imp first.
Yeah. Sure. I don't see the advantage of playing the Vault first.
Because you can discard more cards to the Vault then, and you've got a little more info as to what you're drawing in the rest of your deck. We're going to kill a silver? I guess that's okay. You need to be discarding cards for this Vault to actually have much value to your deck.
Right.
But yeah, we can play Villa here, play Imp. We can buy ourselves a Golem, a Royal Carriage, gain 2 more Imps. And then I think we're planning to Catapult or Sentinel away the Devil's Workshops.
Yeah.
I'm also interested in Ironworks gaining rocks later on one of these turns.
Yeah, they're kind of at that point, aren't they, where
they're drawing sufficiently large portions of their deck that they can do that, although at some point you're gilding a little lily with the after seeing what Koehni does here.
Yeah,
I don't think Koehni can support rocks.
No, I don't think so either. I think that only puts them further behind.
We are deep in an action chain right now. We need to discard at least the 2 Devil's Workshop. I think just the 2 Devil's Workshops here.
Yeah.
Just to make sure we have enough coins to... Did we buy another Vault last turn? We didn't. So maybe we... I guess after we Ironworks for... after we Ironworks for rocks, we'll have more money this turn. Oh, and imps can play Royal Carriages until you call one, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a strange but nice interaction. If you told me before the game that Ironworks gaining rocks would be a nice tactical maneuver, I would have not believed you.
No, that wasn't wouldn't have been on my radar.
Okay, why did we Royal Carriage a Golem there and we had 1 in our hand?
Good question, because now this.
And now we just wasted a Royal Carriage there entirely.
Yeah, because we can't play this Golem in our hand.
If we just played the Golem in our hand, we could have saved 2 Royal Carriages. So always play the Sentinel first here, even if you're not planning on trashing, because it'll tell you what the top 3 cards are, and you can make sure you draw the 2 good ones. But we should definitely trash. Yeah, so we could have played the Sentinel first and guaranteed a trash of that. I guess you could monkey the last Golem, but I think ending the turn with at least... Well, yeah, they fully wasted 1 Royal Carriage, and they essentially
You'd much
entirely
rather-
wasted the second one.
Yeah, you'd much rather end the turn with a carriage on the mat than extra coin from a monkey.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they're gonna.
More golems, as evidenced by the fact that we had 2 fully superfluous golem plays this turn.
Yeah.
So the thing I'm thinking is, I want another vault there. Like, you can get a lot of money with vault overdraw.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm thinking here.
Of course, Kubu's so far ahead. It almost doesn't matter what they do. But yeah,
They just have to buy a province this turn, basically, I think. Yeah, I mean, Koehni's got 2 Ironworks gains, and honestly, Koehni could have bought a province last turn. I would have been okay with that. They get some Aqueduct points.
Yeah, I was gonna say leaving the 4 Aqueduct points is kind of interesting. I think you would have just gone ahead and taken those.
Yeah, I mean, it fully doesn't matter, but
No,
this turn it doesn't. 2 turns from, like, if they don't green in the next 2 turns, then you have to start worrying. But there's not even really a second pile that's running, to be honest. So, like, there's no 3 pile, like, estates, but I'm not really worried about estate gains. If you Royal Carriage Ironworks to gain a bunch of villas, you can lower the villa pile, and that should give you enough money and buys potentially that turn to get a bunch of estates. Ironworks can do Ironworks well if you're Kubu. I think if you're Koehni, your deck's not quite in shape to do that. But I think Ironworksing villas than buying out estates seems actually more likely, a more likely scenario. So Koehni just needs the province here, and I think, or Kubu needs the province here. Koehni, I think, needs to buy. I think Koehni needed to have considered taking the Aqueduct points there.
Yeah.
This not leading with a villa seems very questionable to me.
Yeah, you're out of actions now. Well, I mean, the Ironworks will give you an action. But
And the imp, but you could have hit Vault, Catapult, and then or not Vault. You could have hit Catapult, Sentinel, or something. And
yeah, and then you don't have enough money to buy a villa.
yeah, it's a very exact set of things has to happen and go wrong. But it doesn't seem to cost you very much to lead with, like, Imp Villa.
Yeah.
Again, this is bad. You should not call Royal Carriage on Golem until you've played the second Golem, I think. You have so many Golems in your deck.
Yeah, I just don't see the advantage of calling the carriage now.
So now I would play Imp Sentinel.
Doing another carriage on a. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, so now I would play Imp Sentinel, and then I can line up what the 2 cards that the next Golem sees are. So I can move the Golem now to below the Vault and the Villa.
Right, go Villa Vault
and then draw the Golem, and then I don't need to call my Royal Carriages.
That's right.
We can also Imp Nomad Camp. We can Imp Vault. We've got a lot of options here, and we've got 8 actions. So they did not reorder correctly, right?
Well, you can choose with the Golem, right? Which one to play first.
But they didn't reorder the deck. They discarded the gold, Golem, and Rocks.
Oh, they did.
Which doesn't seem like what you would have wanted to do there.
Right, like you said, you want to draw the Golem. Although I guess at this point, since I don't know, they just have all these extra Golems now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're going to catapult the silver. It doesn't seem great, but it doesn't seem terrible either.
Yeah. What else are you going to do, I guess? I guess you could Devil's Workshop. Maybe that would have been better, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing here they have so many actions in a turn that kicks off that they can support these terminals. There are no more actions down there, but they can count to 5 and see that they're going to top deck 1 bad card. Um, they they've definitely bungled the carriages on this kingdom. The last couple turns. I think you could have gotten through like this goal if they. Yeah, again, they play a golem game that they play a golem play that does nothing. Again, which meant that they could have saved one royal carriage and.
Buying another golem? All right. Maybe they want to pile golems. I don't know that I've ever seen those. I don't know that I've ever seen them pile.
I don't think I've ever seen golems pile. I cannot imagine them having piled ever.
All right, maybe now they'll be comfortable with not calling the royal carriage on them now that they have, what, five or six of them?
So now, Kuehni should move the deck such that they discard those two cards when they play.
Out of actions.
Yeah, I think maybe they did the right. I couldn't tell what order they top decked them in, but I think they did it right. I think they did it right and just didn't draw well. But again, their deck is in much worse shape. If Kubu had just left one royal carriage down, I would say this is basically a guaranteed win. As it is, there are some extremely bad draw orders, I think. Maybe that's not even true anymore.
Ooh, look at that. They have enough. Oh, they can buy. No, they can't buy a villa.
They still have a. They're in a chain though.
Oh, they're still imping.
Yeah, and again they call the royal carriage much too early.
Why?
I mean, I think they're just they have some idea in their mind, and it's not going to change over the course of a game usually.
Right.
I'm not quite sure what the idea is that they have in their mind. Maybe
what, they gained another potion?
They're going for a potion pile out.
Pile out the potions and the golems?
Rocks must be strictly better than potion at this point.
Oh, I don't know what a potion's doing for you. I think they are trying to pile out the golems.
They can't, though. They don't have enough gains this turn. So it's a 2-turn pile out.
Yeah. They're going for the style points.
At some point, you're far enough ahead that it's like you should just. Well, yeah. I guess Kuehni could resign here and prevent the thing from happening.
Yeah, like we've said a few turns ago.
Question:
so far ahead,
Doesn't Kubu have 2 potions already?
Yes. Well, did they trash one? They did. That's their 3rd potion buy. Yeah.
Okay, there's a potion in the trash. Okay. But, like, the golems are not helping their deck.
No, not at all.
You can trash this rocks to gain a silver, but the Aqueduct points have emptied out for that. This is a... Okay, so don't play these imps. Okay, well, do play these imps. Just leave a province and a potion on top of the deck.
If they would have found the potion, they could have piled out, right?
Correct.
Still pile out? No. Only got 1 potion.
If they'd stopped, or they could have stopped earlier, right? When they played the imp to trigger the shuffle. Sorry, when they played the golem that did nothing, right? They could have stopped, bought some villas, bought some whatever, then played on. They could have bought some Ironworks or something, and then played the golem to play the 2 Ironworks to gain 2 more Ironworks. They could have piled out Ironworks, I think, that turn pretty easily. But yeah, they were far ahead there. So after a 2-0 start, Kubu has come back and won 3 in a row and is now in position to win Medium Games Finals. Join us in Game 6 coming up.